Good afternoon, Internet. My name is Morph, and welcome to what's going to be hopefully a really epically big matchup of Uber Death. Now, I just want to quickly get something out of the way, and that's that if you like hearing the percentiles before the matchup, you are out of luck, my friends, because both of these players fall into my no, you don't get a percentile category. But why, Morph? Why? Well, I'll tell you. For one of these players is Free, who plays for Woongjin Stars. Now, Free is one of the top 10 players in the world. And if you're one of the top 10 players in the world, you don't get a percentage, because that's all you need. You need the fact that you're in the top 10, and that's it. I don't give them percentages, because I don't feel that if a player is that well established, has played that many games, that you can really, condense how they play just into a number. I don't think it's fair. And then conversely, if you're on the total flip side of that, and you're a sort of new upstart player who hasn't even had, say, 10 matches against the opponent's race, then each one win is counting for more than 10% of 0. Then each one win is counting for actually more than 10% of your ratio. And also, I don't think that provides a fair percentile either. So neither of these players are in a position to be percentile by myself. So Great is the opponent of Free. Great is a Zerg player. He is in orange. He plays for Samsung Khan, and he is spawned in the top right. And then who we are looking at there, the teal Protoss, Free for the Woongjin Stars. He is in the bottom left. I'm sorry, it was top right, not top left, sorry, not top right. So each player on the left hand side of the map, with the Zerg player Great in the top and Protoss player Free in the bottom. That one was a bit awkward. Got my left C's and right C's. So now I can't do the clock positions or left and right. What a artard. Anyway, so going into this, I'm not entirely sure who I'm favouring from this. I do like the underdog, so I'm throughout this you hear me being quite critical to Free. I'm probably not actually thinking that he's playing as badly as I may say he will be. But any mistake he makes, I'm going to really pick at, because I like to create the illusion that the underdog stands more of a chance than they do. So Free has sent his scout in the right direction. I think his probe can see the creep. He's in the base. He knows what's going on. Whereas inversely, Great Overlord Scout is not even barely off the creep, and the probe scout is already in the base, doing a little dance, doing a little jig, causing a little bit of aggro. So let me just adjust myself. Too early to tell for either. I do believe there's a scout going out for Great that's going in the wrong direction. He's got a scout going to the right, which is not correct. That probe scout's still where it is, and now going for the expansion on the part of Great. So pretty vanilla build. We had spawning pool before hatchery, which is, standard. I think he probably could have gone for the hatchery first, seeing as how they are so far apart. So this is a big shock now from Free. He's going for a Forge followed by proton cannons. I wonder if we're going to see a Citadel of Aduna, Templar Archives, and a Stargate. Obviously doesn't come down in that order. I believe the Stargate goes down first, then the Citadel, then the Archives. It might be Citadel, Stargate, Archives. I don't know or care. I will say this one thing about the Corsair Overlord hunt followed by the DT drop. As far as harasses go, I think what makes it such an effective harass is that you risk losing so little. Okay, so we got the Zerg being run by. There are the 2 cannons there, so just 2 managed to get through. Thought it would be 3 for a moment there. So as there's no forces in for a little bit, hopefully they will be able to pick up a few probes. But the reason why the DT harass is so good is because you're risking so little. You're risking so little of your units to be able to do so much economy damage. That's what's so beautiful about it. And it's also the same with with the Vulture harass, the Vulture is such a cheap unit, and yet you can really do these nice run-bys. And that's why, for anyone who's listening to more than one of my economies, I'm so critical of the Muta harass, because it's most of the time it's costing more than it takes, and that's not good, my friends. So those two Zerglings still out there. Also, conversely, the initial probe scout still in there, very sloppy on the part of Grey. Those two Zerglings not really picking off as many probes as I'd like to have seen. They do cause a few probes to come off the middle line to try and take him down. He maybe wants to split them up in order to maybe try and take down a few more probes. But we will see a ground unit, probably a Zealot, as I haven't seen a Cybernetics Core as of yet in a mere moment. Speak of the devil, there is both a Cybernetics Core and a Zealot. So those two Zerglings, little three-party inside the base, is over. And actually, look, so there is the Stargate. And looking up at the base of Grey, he's gone for a macro build. He's got two expansions at the moment. He's got his natural and he's got a sort of secondary natural as well. That's very interesting that he's going for the economy build. Clearly, maybe smelling what's coming now that those Zerglings are actually still alive, not going down to the Zealot. He of course will see the Stargate lair already up. And the Spire is on the way. He was probably building a lair and a Spire anyway, regardless of seeing it with the Zerglings, so he will know exactly what's coming. So whether or not he manages to get any DT kills in is a little bit irrelevant, really. Well, I don't mean irrelevant, it's only irrelevant if it fails, and that's the beauty of the build, that even if you don't succeed, you're still in a really strong position because you've got most of your high-tech buildings up, so able to produce a wide variety of units, and you haven't really lost that many, which is why I think that on the part of the Zerg, I think that the Zergling run-by, or maybe even similar things like like the Overlord drop, maybe need to make a little bit of a comeback, because obviously everyone loves Mutabombs, but probably a tad overused, almost as overused as the build that Free is going for at the moment. So the Temple's down and the Corsair is already harassing. We have in the works being built at the moment, we have an Evolution Chamber and a Hydralisk down. So that brain will splat. Come on, splat, 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 splat. And just a few Zerglings sitting there staring at the forces going, oh dear. Now I suppose the one thing that could put this in Grey's favour is that with this build, so yeah, now we do see the Scourge out, chasing them away, not seeing Muta, instead seeing Scourge for the defence. And so there is one thing with this build, so we've got another expansion going up for Free, that there is essentially a slight tech gap, because sometimes when you do over-tech early on, you are vulnerable to just a mass swarm attack, and obviously, bloody hell, and obviously what the Zerg excel at is being able to produce a large number of units quickly, and also being able to recover from unit losses very, very quickly. So we see actually, I think we got a Dark Templar out there having a little shifty bow, but also we have I think that Free might be able to smell it, because it looks like Grey is going for an expansion in the top right, and we also have a DT head towards there. So I don't know if he saw that drone going out with the Corsair. He must have seen it, otherwise he is actually psychic like the units he controls. Thankfully there is an Overlord coming in, which he'll minimalise that.